Hello, my friends. It's me, Karen Valentine. Welcome to my channel. If you are new to me, thank you for coming. I hope you find some stuff on here that you find valuable and you come back. And if you are an old friend, thank you for your continued support and love. So today I thought that I would work on this this kitty that I got from Pixabay, and it's a beautiful reference photo, and it's going to make for a lovely drawing that we're going to work on drafting film. I've been doing a lot of pet portraits and do not always get really beautiful reference photos. Quite often they are blurry, very low resolution, and not the easiest to do. But the idea is, and the thing that I love about doing them, is that I can take this photo that a customer gives me that is not so wonderful and create a portrait for them of their beloved animal that hopefully looks just like them and is something that they can keep forever and hang on their wall in remembrance of their pet. Quite often they have passed on, and that's all the photos that they have. However, occasionally I get really lucky and a customer wants to do a portrait of their living animal, and they can get some really great reference great photos for me to use for reference. This one I got from Pixabay, and I did that so that if you guys wanted to learn some new techniques to use, whether it be on a coloring page or on doing your actual some actual art that you create yourself, you can do that. So I did the line art on this one already, you can see, and I actually scanned this and uploaded it to my Ko-fi page. There's a link to that in the description box down below the video, and when you go over there, you can download the image of the line art for free. Just download away. If you want to make a donation to my YouTube channel, you can do that from there. They call it like buying a cup of coffee or something. It's basically just a way to say thank you to somebody, but that you are not obligated to do that in any way, shape, or form. The image is completely free. And I can do that because I did get it from Pixabay, where their images are royalty-free for commercial use as well. So I'm also going to put a link to the actual cat to Pixabay in the description box below, so that you can print the image if you want to, print the line art, and have the reference photo. So I typically work from my iPad. It's nice because that allows me to expand the image as much as I need to get detail, but also size it to the same size as the image that I am working on. So I printed this mostly so that it would be easier for me to show you what the cat looks like. But you never know, I might find that I really like working that way. So I am going to use Polychromos on this. They work really, really beautifully with the drafting film. Oh, let me back up real quick. So when you go to do this, I believe that I did this correctly. I believe that when you get your reference photo, it is going to be facing this way. So it's going to be facing with the cat looking to the right. And the reason that I did that is because what I want you to do is stick the line art underneath your drafting film and go ahead and trace it So this is the side that has the pencil on it. So you can see I can erase that. So this is where I drew out the reference line art. And then we're going to flip it upside down so that you're actually working on the other side of the drafting film. And you don't have to worry about smudging your pencil art or erasing it, forgetting and putting colored pencil over the top and then trying to erase the line because it's showing through. So do your sketch on the bottom side of the drafting film, and that will work best. So I am using Grafix 0.005 double matte drafting film. This is the upgraded version of the Duralar. So this is the Duralar, and this is the one that I showed you guys in a previous video when I used it in a coloring book. And it is not bad drafting film. There are many people that really, really like it. I've used it and it's fine. And what's nice about it is it's readily available, and it's less expensive than the one that I am using. However, I have discovered that I prefer this one. When you touch it, you can feel that it's toothier than the Duralar. And don't get confused because they're both made by Grafix. But the Duralar is kind of like the student grade version of the drafting film, and this is a little bit more upgrade to the drafting film. And you can get this at Dick Blick. You can get it in large sheets and cut it to any size that you want. So either one will work fine. I just find I can get a little bit more layers on this one than I can on the Duralar. But truly, either one is fine. I know there's a lot of artists that use the Duralar. So you choose which one you want to use. Okay, so there are several different ways that you can get your image down. Like, as I said, you can print the line art, but we don't always have the luxury of having the line art given to us, and sometimes we have to create that. And so you can do that by, a couple of different ways, especially on the drafting film because it's translucent. So you can, I would reverse your image though, because again, you want to draw on the back side. That's just my opinion. That's the way I do it. I would rather draw on the back side of the film and then flip it to erase as I go than draw on the front. So you can print your image in reverse, lay your drafting film down on top, and do a little sketch of what you're doing that way. You could also freehand right onto the drafting film. You can also use the grid method. There are lots and lots of ways to get your line art down onto your paper, and no way is the right way, and no way is the wrong way. You do what you feel comfortable with and what makes you happy for your art. And that's all I have to say about that. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm thinking this is probably quite going to take me many hours. So some of this video, as I get going, I might do like a little sped up version, because otherwise this video will probably be a little bit too long. But we'll see. Okay, so I have not pulled out my pencils. I am going to pull some out so that I'm not wasting your time while I do that, and I will be right back. All right, I pulled a few pencils out, a lot of pencils out. Okay. So I'm going to start with the eyes because that is how I usually start. And these are going to be interesting. There is a lot of color and a lot of interesting markings in there. So that is what we're going to try and replicate. So I will probably not do a lot of talking unless I have something important to say. Otherwise, I'm pretty much going to be concentrating on what I'm doing. So hopefully that is okay with you. We are also going to use our lovely slice tool. So I don't want to forget that. But yes, I find when I'm doing this stuff right now, because I'm sort of new to it and I'm not, I don't feel as comfortable doing it on camera as I do coloring pages, I will probably be concentrating a lot and not talking. So I just thought I would film it so that you guys could see how I do it. And yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go. I'm just gonna do it now. But as I did say before, drafting film is a very different kind of surface than paper. And you do not have to press hard in order to make a mark on this paper. Okay, so one more thing about, and I said I wasn't going to talk, geez. One more thing though, because I am thinking about stuff as I do this. My biggest recommendation, follow your reference photo. Don't follow the line art as strongly as you follow your reference photo. Line art can be wrong. It can be misleading as far as, you know, you kind of getting lost in, well, what is that line and what is this, you know, here? And truly your answer is going to be on your reference photo. So follow that reference photo quite strongly. The other thing that I would say is get yourself a proportional divider. So I use this all the time. Like right now, how I'm going to use this is I'm going to measure the distance from nose to nose on my drawing. And then I'm going to take it over to my iPad, and I'm going to make that photo, size it so that the size of the nose and the size of my nose on my drawing are exactly the same. And I'm going to just double check with my with the eyeball here. Once I do that, and so that I know that my my image on my iPad is the same exact size as the image on my paper, then I'm going to do a little screenshot of that. And I will use that particular screenshot for my reference, so that I know that the size of my photo is the exact size that it is. I know it's really zoomed in, but yeah, it's probably too zoomed in, so that I know that the size that's on my iPad is the exact size of the drawing that I'm doing. And you can do that with a printed version, you know, print make sure that your printed picture is the same size as your line art, and then you have it there as well. Either way is fine. Do what works for you. And I completely got lost and forgot where I was going with this. Oh yes. So really follow your reference photo and use your proportional divider. If you're looking at something and you're not sure, like where the line for the the change of color starts, you can just use your proportional divider and check that and make sure that you are accurate in that way. So it's a really wonderful tool. I will link those down in the description box below. Not my brass one. My brass one came from, thankfully, from my hubby, who actually had one. But there are plastic ones that are really, really inexpensive that you can get on Amazon. And they're a really, really, really handy tool. So, okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. So this is cinnamon. Sometimes I feel like I might jump around a little bit, so just bear with me. This is a cold gray 2. Just for that little bit there. I don't know why I felt the need to put that in there, but I did. All right, so the eyeball, I think, is going to be the hardest part. Yeah, I think it's going to be the hardest part. Okay, so I'm going to pull out some green gold. What have I got here? May green, juniper green, permanent green olive, and earth green yellowish. And I'm not sure which ones I'm going to want to use, but we'll just see how it goes. So this is the green gold. When you're using the drafting film, I mean, literally, you barely want to touch the paper. So you can always build up your layers, but if you make a heavy mark on it, there is no, I mean, it's there. You can erase, but there's always going to be kind of that indentation. So just use a light hand to start. Okay, I wish there was a way, not that I don't really know a way though, but I wish there was a way that I could put the reference. Oh, well, I guess I can. Look, there we go. At least for now, we can put that right there. That worked out okay, didn't it? Also, keep thinking of all these things. You might want to put a piece of paper between your hand and the artwork, just to keep it clean, because drafting film does mark up pretty easily. It erases, but it does get dirty pretty easily. So, all right. So this is permanent green olive. It's going to be 2. That's going to be too dark. So let's try I know this is another dark one, but it's a bluer. I think we need a bluer green. So what is this? Juniper Green. Even that might not be the right color green. I need like a... I need like grass green. Grass green. Let's try and see. I think that's better. And I'm gonna need a brown. Brown ochre maybe. It's almost like that green gold. This is earth green yellowish. And don't forget, if you're doing a piece of art and it's not for a client, it's not like a it doesn't have to look exactly like the reference photo. You have carte blanche to change colors up any way that you like. The reference photo and the sketch is really just for, you know, to get the proportions down and get the proportions right. I don't love to draw. Using the grid method for me really helped to kind of get me there. But I'm still not great at it, and I just want to get to the fun stuff. I just want to get to the part that for me is the joy, and that is in the use of the colored pencils or the pastels or whatever. So for me, getting a rough sketch down is just a tool to get to the good stuff. Move my pencils over to this side. All right, this is burnt umber. I want to get a little bit more. But one of the reasons that I love the drafting film is that you get to the details so much faster. You're not doing layer upon layer upon layer of pencil filling in the tooth, trying to get a smooth look, because the paper is so smooth already. You get right to the fun. Juniper Green. Black. I gotta say, I'm really finding having the reference photo printed right next to me really nice. I usually just work from my pad, so this is... I might start doing that from now on. All right, so this area right here that's actually a little darker. I think that feels pretty good. Excuse me. All right, let's do the other one. Now, unfortunately, I can't, well, I guess I could. I could fold my paper. Sorry about that. Goodness. Hey, look at that. Okay. All right, so this... I think my sketch is a little bit big on that. So I'll just make that a little bit smaller. to the green gold. Be cautious on the drafting film because if you, especially with blacks, if I'm not careful and I'm swirling this green gold into this black line, I can very easily grab some of that black and swirl it right into the gold. You have to be a little bit careful when you don't want your colors to mix. This is burnt umber. And what was the green that I used? Grass green. There we go. This might not need quite as much of that as the other one. Do earth green, yellowish. Brown ochre. Burnt umber. Might even have to go a little bit darker than that, I think. Let's just try the dark sepia and see what that does. Juniper Green. So my pencils are not super duper sharp. I know they look like they're kind of sharp, but the point is a sort of a dullish point on the end. And that's just to try and make sure that I don't put any harsh marks on the paper. I want everything right now to be soft. We can use a sharp point later. Dark sepia. some more brightness. I might have to use my... So the other thing that's really lovely about drafting film is that if you would like to create highlights or make something lighter using your kneaded eraser or a Tombow eraser, works really, really well. And you can just pull that color right off, just like that. It's one of the reasons I am really, really loving the drafting film, because I never really got the hang of working on white paper. My brain doesn't think in negative. I want to be able to add highlights whenever I want to instead of having to preserve them. And so the nice thing about the drafting film is that I can do that either by an eraser or slice tool. There are still times when you need to preserve a highlight, but the eraser works really well for that. All right, there's something that's not quite right here. I'm not quite sure what it is. We definitely need to blacken the black for sure. This is burnt umber. This is darker. That's what it is. This right here needs to be darker. So this is Juniper Green. That's better. And I'm just gonna pull out a little bit of light. That looks pretty good to me. Sometimes I'll sit back and I'll just kind of squint a little bit so that everything gets blurry, and it kind of helps to determine whether you're on the right track or not. So that's good. We can always come in and adjust on the back side. But I feel pretty good about the eyes so far. All right, so this is the part where I probably will not be able to have both things in frame at the same time. Although I could, maybe I'll do a little bit of paper trimming, try and get that as tight to the but in the meantime, let's do the nose. I tend to like to do the eyes and the nose and work on completing that little triangle sort of, and then keep working my way out from there. So it just kind of helps me see the picture coming together. And yeah, so that's what we'll do. All right. I need like a super, and I don't think I have it. So let's just I need one color, maybe India red. Yeah, let me pull out India red here real quick. Okay. So you can see in my sketch, I drew the nose in its entirety, but really you barely see the top of the nose here because the colors are so light and they are so similar to the fur above the nose. So that's another example of follow your reference photo more closely than you're following the line art. The sketch is just there as a guide. It's not necessarily there for you to follow exactly. There's many times when I've been doing this and I look at the sketch that I did and I say, nope, that is not right. And then I just go in and I erase what I did underneath because I don't want to get distracted by my mistake. All right, this is India red. I'm not sure if it's the right color to use or not. It might be too. Oh, I kind of like that, so we'll do that. So the nice thing about having the line on the back side of your film is that you're not fighting with the pencil being in your way, because you know polys tend to be kind of a translucent color, and if the pencil was on the front side, you would have to be super cautious of erasing your lines before you laid your pencil down, or else it would show through, which we don't want that. All right, it looks like I need a little bit of yellow. This might be completely the wrong color, but I'm just going to try and glaze this light chrome yellow over the top. Just adding a little hint. I like that. Okay. Good. I hope you guys can see okay. Can I zoom in a little bit more? Okay, now the rest of this nose is really light. This is burnt umber, just to put that little brown. Okay. I'm wondering if I put white down first. Put some white down first, and even use it to soften the edge of the Indian red, and then beige red over the top. Real lightly. I barely want it to show. That's good. That's good, because our white, you won't even be able to see it. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Our white is going to go right underneath. And I think what we'll wind up doing is a little bit of gray, and then pulling that out with the slice tool. So for the top of the nose, I'm going to use this cream right here. So now is going to probably come the time when we're going to start erasing stuff on the back side. So I can kind of show you. So I don't need those lines anymore, so I will erase those out. They're distracting. So now when we go over, that line that was differentiating the nose from the top of the nose is no longer there. And it looks like there's just the tiniest of gray. So this needs a little more black. And it almost looks like my black line that runs down the center of the nose is too heavy. So I'm not sure if this will work or not. I think it should. I'm just going to very, very gently scrape away some of that black. Better. I kind of want a little bit more orange, so this time I'm going to use Terracotta. Or not really orange, kind of brown. Mine seems almost a teensy bit too red. We'll call that good. All right. So you can see by how long we're into the video now, and this is all we've gotten. This is not a super duper fast process. It's very detail oriented, and but that's what I love about it. It just makes me, I get lost in the doing. And I usually have a book on or something, and you know, listening, because I can't really concentrate on watching TV. And I just get lost, and I just love it. All right, let's get some more of this cream down. Probably should have done that before trying to add the black. And then we need a little bit of terracotta. Might be too dark, but that's the kind of the color that I want. So I'm going to put it on here really, really lightly. Yep, that'll work. Again, be careful with your when you're working into blacks, because they do tend to smear if you're not careful. Okay, so what I want to do now is lay, this is Warm Gray 3. I want to lay the color that's closest to the skin down first. And even as I'm doing this, I'm still kind of trying to follow the direction that the fur is growing. Kind of once I get this down, I'm going to erase some more pencil lines because I find them distracting. They're really only there to guide me as far as where I'm going. So for example, that line right there goes away. And then when I come in, I think I'll try the Warm Gray 6. These are literally going to be teeny tiny little dots. And I know it seems like, it kind of seems like I'm adding each and every little hair, but I don't, it doesn't feel that way to me. It just feels like I'm adding the texture and the pattern of the fur. All right, so from this point of the nose up to this corner of the nose, there's kind of a line there of dark. So that's kind of going to be the demarcation of the direction of the fur. So I'm wondering, I should probably put a little bit more color, base color, down first, just in here. And there's a little bit of yellow, creamy ivory. Maybe even a little bit darker. What do we got? Cream. I don't want to go too yellow, but there's definitely a creaminess to this undercoat. And then maybe a little bit of the terracotta. Just ever so slightly, because you just want to blend some color in. You don't want lines. Okay, so now when I do the fur, this all in here is really dark. And I might even switch and add some. So this is the cold gray 6, warm gray 6, sorry, but I might even come in with black 2. And actually there looks like there's some other colors dotted in there. I probably should have done that, but I think I can just sporadically throw in some of this terracotta. I could also add it on the back. That's a nice way to add depth, is that you're adding your color on the back side, and therefore it is the color that is furthest away from the top of the page. Okay, so we do need some darker, so we'll start adding a few. I am not trying to recreate every single line or dot on this cat. I'm not a, what do they call that? A hyper realistic artist. I'm not trying to make it so that you can't tell the difference between the photo and the drawing. I'm just trying to make it so that when you look at the drawing, you know that it's this animal. So here's a good example of me using the proportional divider. So I want to know how far down from the tip of the eye, from that line, does that dark blotch kind of go. And then I can come over here from the tip of the eye and go, all right, well, I need that blotch to come down to about right there. So it doesn't, it just helps with the accuracy. And because sometimes I get not confused, but you know, you're looking at everything and you're going, all right, why does that not look right? The proportional divider usually will tell you why. I can tell right now that that is way too yellow. So this is terracotta. I might switch back to the warm gray 6. Let's get this a little bit darker in here. So one of the things that on my list of things to work on is working on my values, making sure that my darks are dark enough and my lights are light enough, because that, from every teacher that I have been learning from, is a consistent statement by all of them. Value is more important than color. To get a realistic look. So right now I'm feeling the need, because I think I got too much of the yellow and orange undertone on there. I'm going to try and see what happens if I take my slice tool. I think I'll be happier with it once I get some more of the grays in. This is Warm Gray 3. And I think I'm going to pull it down here and follow this sketch line a little bit. And then I'm going to erase just I kind of want to show you the tool, the slice tool. Let's do maybe Warm Gray 1. And I'll go ahead and, do I want to put that in after the slice? I might want to put that in after. Let's try that. So if the slice will work, I'm not sure if I have enough color down yet. Come in just a little bit more. I think that's it. I think we're as zoomed in as we're going to get. Okay, so that's scratched out a little bit. And I'm going to come in . I'm going to erase those lines. I still have this way too yellow, so I might have to erase that out. I got carried away. That might be enough. I glaze over it with some pink. This is Beige Red. Well, I think that helped a lot. Okay, so warm gray one. I don't know why I'm working in this direction. I want to start heading up, but just started. So you also want to make sure that when you're adding your little hair lines, that they don't all go in exactly the same direction, because hair doesn't do that. So you want to be a little bit looser in the when you're dotting that in. This needs to be darker still. All right. I'm debating on where I want to go now. Okay, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here so that it's not insane. All righty. I want to get, let's do the hair underneath this eye. I think. Yeah, we'll do that. And then we'll probably, I don't know, we'll probably be at the end of this one, this video. All right, I want to put a little bit of cinnamon. Again, always following the direction of the fur. And a little bit of that up here. Then I am going to use Ivory. I should have put a darker color underneath. So what I'll do is, I will use a sharp pencil here. That might not be dark enough. Okay, this is, let's do warm gray 5. Again, I'm going to erase. A little bit of terracotta. I don't like the although that may change. Let me add some more gray. I feel like I drew a line in there that I didn't really want, but it might be okay once I add some more of this. In fact, I might add this and then again erase. Okay, so I don't want to erase that yet. And I don't want to put that in yet. I want to put some more of this in and try the slice tool here. So again, the slice tool works best when there's pencil down on the paper. And granted, you don't, the color is really light, so it might not even show up. I'm kind of experimenting and still learning, what works and what doesn't. So this is warm gray 3. So the slice didn't really show up here under this really light area, but I'm sure that it's going to show up later on as we keep working. That's because I've used it before and it's worked great. So, all right, let's get some of this on here. I'm gonna go real lightly. And I think I might want to use some cinnamon. This one's really sharp, so I'm going to try and use it on the very edge of the pencil. Okay, some gray. Not that one. warm gray 4. So the nice thing about the dull pencil end is that it creates a very soft stroke as opposed to a harsh stroke that you would get when your pencil was really sharp. So I've even had times when I've taken my sharp pencil and dulled it down on another piece of paper because I really wanted a soft look to the pencil. So now I'm going to erase this because I don't need that right there anymore. This is going to be interesting because it's super soft and out of focus. And if I want to try and replicate that, I think that those will be some different techniques than the way I would do it if it was all in focus. Okay, so I think what I want to do is soften this edge. I'm trying to do this. I'm going to have to turn my paper. I'm sorry. I'm going to try and soften this edge. Again, another really cool thing about the drafting film and the kneaded eraser is that it just softens things. And then I'm going to come in, maybe even with black. I'm using such light strokes that when I use the lighter colors, they show up even lighter than I want them to. So black it is. Again, trying to make sure that my values are right because that's one of those things that I tend to struggle with, is making sure things are dark enough. I get there in the end most times, but a lot of the time it's just a struggle for me to make sure that I do it right. All right, this is warm gray. I'm wondering if I want to try some cooler grays. This is cold gray 4. Okay, so here's an example where I think the line art is wrong. Like, I don't know what that little bloop is that I did, you know, so that gets ignored. You don't do what it doesn't appear to be there. So I don't want to get confused. Erase that. This is the big part of the white, like his little, where all of his little lip is, I think. Okay, let's get this comes up here. Some color. What colors are we going to put in there? I think I'll try beige red. If I can find it. That's cinnamon. Oh, there it is. Okay. I think I'll try beige red in here. Might be a little bit too pink. I can add some yellow. Let's add some dark chrome yellow. That might be, oh, I don't know. Might be too much. Although I like having all of these other, I mean, one of the things that attracted me to this picture was all the variety of color. So I actually kind of like it. I think I'll leave it. And come back to the warm gray 5. Okay, so this, maybe black. This, gets a little bit of a little dot right there. And then around the nose, and up. So this might, we might go into some browns in here. But this is dark. I'm going to pull out the dark sepia. I'm using the teeniest, tiny, almost like dotting, because I don't want the strokes to be too big. The pencil strokes to be too big. The hairs on the nose are super duper duper short. So, yeah. Okay, this is black again. Now, if I can't get the blacks black enough on the front side, I can always come in and darken them on the back side. Another reason that I really, really love drafting film. Okay, let's work on this, joining up these two sections. A little bit more color right there. We'll use, let's try cinnamon this time. Just right here. All right, I'm going to use Warm Gray 2 right here. I always lose my slice tool. I need to like wrap it in blue tape or something because it hides in all of my pencils. All right, so here's this line right here. And here it is right here. And I'm going to try and use the slice tool. I might not have enough pencil down. Or I might need to use it on the fatter end. There we go. Oh, I wonder if I didn't get it white enough. This is just an experiment, just to see if I can. It's not bad. It's not bad. All right. So as it starts to come together, I start seeing areas where I need to make some adjustments to the color. Like right here, it needs to be more orange. So this is Terracotta. And then that Terracotta comes up right in here. So I'm just going to put that in right now. And I feel like I want to do something to show, I feel like it's not showing, and maybe it doesn't matter, the definition, showing definition doesn't matter. I just wish I could do something to show a little bit more for so this is Warm Gray 2, and it's just really not probably necessary. Just putting a little bit of it down in here. All right, that's where we're at so far. I think we are going to stop the video now. I know that it, I know this is going to take me a very, very long time. So here's going to be my question for you guys who are watching the video. Do you want me to keep going 100% real time and just do as many videos as it takes for me to complete this picture in real time at about an hour and a half-ish a piece? Or do you want me on the next video to insert speed colorings through it where I speed up what I'm doing and show you sections of it in that manner? So you guys have to let me know, because if you don't leave me a comment and let me know what you prefer and what you want me to do, then I'm just going to do whatever I want to do. So yeah, so that's where we're at so far. And we'll just keep plugging away. And I look forward to hearing from you. Please, please, please let me know your thoughts. And I'll that'll be it. I will talk to you, see you on the next video. Thanks so much for hanging in there with me. Until I see you again, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Happy arting. Bye.